we are joined by three members, and there is a reason I selected these three people. You are already working, so why do you think that you need to come to this AI/ML session?
That it is a recession period for all of us, including myself, and many of my friends are still waiting for job placements, which is quite stressful for us.
I think it's like saying a life cycle. I mean, she is in college and I'm out of college and
Yeah. Frankly speaking, I have passed
yes,
through
yes.
all three of you situation. Welcome everyone. Please be comfortable. As today's class is more about the introduction, and we basically we'll see the roadmap and what actually skills we need to acquire to become an AI/ML engineer. So I want this session to be as interactive as possible, and you can interrupt me in between any time if you have any doubts. I can explain, or if the topic is somewhat different from what we are studying, then we can discuss at the starting of the next lecture. And you can also tell me to slow down the pace, or whatever pace you want me to require, or whatever information you want, then you can tell me exactly. So hello everyone, welcome to this video series. In this video series we are going to cover this AI/ML live class bootcamp, and in this series we will learn all things important to AI/ML. So if you are coming to very first time on my channel, let me tell you something about myself. So I am currently top LinkedIn artificial intelligence voice, top LinkedIn cloud computing voice, currently working as an AI/ML multi-cloud DevOps consultant into an big MNC. I am AWS certified data analytics specialist at the specialty level, solution architect certified, certified developer, certified graduate, and some other certification. I also worked with the different organization in different cities like Mysuru, Pune, as well as I worked on onshore in Switzerland as well. So this was a little bit about my professional background, and I'm based out of Rajasthan. In school, was a like a somewhat above average student. I got 84 in my 12th class, and I'm literally an average student. Never came first in my school, but I will be in top 10 students. And also, I completed my graduation from a very low not a top 3 tier college. Also it is like a tier 4 tier 5. I don't know what. No placement is there in college. Even local companies don't come, and whatever companies come, they give like only even below 10,000 rupees salary. So that is, no one's want to go into that companies. So you can say no placement at all in our college. And also I am from non CS background. I basically from electrical engineering, and I have done no CS internship, and I did not give any money to any placement company. I got off-campus selection, and my first organization was Infosys, in which I got off-campus selection. Also, we are joined by three members, and there is a reason I selected these three people. So you will understand from their story only. So let's start with, I guess, Pawan. You can start giving your introduction and tell me about your background and what your current scenario is.
Hi guys, good evening. My name is E. Pongalan Reddy and I'm from Andhra Pradesh. I'm a recent computer science engineering graduated in May 2023, and I'm learning full stack development in an online platform. And rather than that, I know something about AWS, and I was trying to get to start my career on. So I'm in job search, and also I'm still learning. And also I did a couple of projects, and now I'm learning Node.js and React.js within that. And also I'm doing plenty of projects with that. So this is my story, guys.
That's why I pick all three of you. From you are from very different background. Okay, I pick you. The reason for it, because you have a very like a similar kind of story as in mine. And another thing is, you are someone who have already passed out, but you are still searching for a job. Now, let me come to Milka, who is already working. She is a working professional, and we joined Accenture at the very same date. And we haven't met physically. Neither of you never met any of you physically, frankly speaking. But we were part of a different team, but we just have a good communication as we joined on the same day. Milka, would you like to introduce yourself and tell me about your background? Why you are joining this session, and Like you are already working, so why do you think that you need to come to this AI ML session? Like I can understand the Pawan situation. Like, what's your deal?
Hi, hello, myself Milka. I'm from Kerala and now I'm working at Accenture. So I have total 5 years experience. I'm working as a PHP developer. In my organization also, they are like pushing us to take cloud certifications and with AI course, like they are pushing all of the employees now.
Okay.
So now currently we can see like this kind of AI cloud like requirement of this and scope of this skills is very high. So I decided to explore to these skills. So I decided to move to cloud and AI.
Okay, so like, did
That's
your
all.
company providing you any training also and any support from their side also? Like for these, because they are forcing you to do this, so are they providing some resources or some support material or like some vouchers for it to give certification? Is there any like your organization providing some of this help?
We can take our exams, but not much trainings. Sometimes they will provide like classroom trainings.
Okay,
That it will be AI classroom trainings.
okay,
So it will be helpful, but not much. Very basic things only will be in classroom trainings. If we need to explore, then these kind of tutorials will help us more. So actually, you are doing very great job for the beginners, like who wish to explore our career, their careers to AI and machine learning, these kind of things.
okay. Thank you, Milka, for that. And like Accenture is your second company, right? Or third?
Third company.
Okay, it's your third company. So like your second company or first company is like same level of MNC as of Accenture, or is it like kind of a startup or mid-level size
Uh,
organization?
it was startup kind of company.
Okay,
Accenture is my third company. Yeah.
okay. So like, do you feel any difference, particular difference you want to tell other people? Like, what is the difference you feel in working in a startup or working
Way
in an
our session is
MNC?
going to be
Like, do you
entirely in
suggest
English,
you
but
can
we
start with a
Uh,
will
startup, or
like
like which
communicate in very
you
simple
find it
English,
much
so
better?
even like
for a
ordinary
freshers,
person
I
can also
think
understand.
startup will be good. Like
O-
we will have lots of works there, so we will learn lots of things from a startup company. They will give us lots of projects, and we will get more experience if we are
Okay,
working in startups
okay,
compared to MNC.
okay,
Then it will be good to jump in MNC after get some experience. It will be good.
okay. But what if like a new fresher graduate has like getting two offers, one from startup, one from MNC? Like, what would you recommend
Oh,
to him or her?
Package wise, like it will be huge
Not package
difference.
wise. Package is
Startups
same
will,
in
yeah,
package is same in both of them. Like, what would you recommend?
yeah.
Startup or MNC? Like, but he is getting it from a
Startup
very
will give you
reputed.
more experience. A startup will give you more learnings. We will get more experience from the startups. We will
Okay,
learn lots of things. It will be
okay.
more good, I think.
But as now we are like hearing in the news also, and it is really happening that recession is going on. So like we
Yeah, here
have some
also it is
doubts. Like
happening.
we have some doubt. Like in a startup, they are more prone to recession. So, like, do you still recommend to go for a startup? Because as per my personal experience, I generally don't suggest people to go for a startup. I suggest for MNC. But I haven't worked for any startup till now. So I want to know your experience.
Mhm.
Like, would you still go in just in this crazy time where like even big companies are laying off and startup are going through a very bad situation? So like, do you still recommend? Cause like for a first job and graduate who is just passing out or who has already passed out, it is very important to secure a job first. So in that manner,
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. Actually, I'm like 2018 pass out.
okay.
At that time, mm, like
Same. I
at
am
that time,
also
recession.
2018.
Uh, so at that at that time, it was not like that. Uh, so like I have friends who were working in MNC and some persons who were working in startup with me. I came to know like one person is working in startup who has experience in 1 year. Like it will be same as 3 or 5 years experience in MNC. Like
Okay.
that is the difference I saw.
Yeah, he will get more skills and he can do more responsible roles and responsibility when working in a startup. And what do you
MNC, like there is a like limits. They will only give some work, and we
okay,
need to only complete that.
right,
We
right.
will not get, if we are like a good self learner, then we can explore outside from MNC. It will be fine. Like if we are doing freelancing, then it will be helpful for us to to upskill.
So for you saying in MNC, if we are self-learner, then it is good to go in MNC as well.
Yeah,
Like and you
yeah,
can acquire
yeah,
more
yes.
skills and like what you say pay wise, like that does your startup paying you well, or do you think it is paying you
No,
at a
no.
low? Okay.
Compared to MNC, startup is paying less.
Okay, okay. For you, startup is paying less and MNC is paying you well. So if you want to pay
Yeah,
well, so you can go to MNC and like continue your self-learning process. So that is like I
yeah,
guess conclusion we can make. Okay.
yeah,
Thank you, Milka. Thank you for your introduction.
So that's why I always tell people like you need to upskill yourself. The benefit when you have a job in your hand that you can take a larger amount of time to upskill yourself. But if you are in like a situation when you don't have it, then you have to like continuously you somehow need to get a job because that is a more savory situation and you need to come out of it first rather than focus on upskilling and other part. Okay. So the reason for selecting Milka here is like she is a working professional. She's from totally different situation, but still she need to come up with this background. And let's come with the Sanskriti. So Sanskriti, can you introduce yourself?
Yes, hi everyone. I'm Sanskriti Kaushal. I belong to a small town from Rajasthan and I am an average house student. So, after completing my 12th, I got admission in a private college for BTech in Jaipur in IT stream. My college is good, has good record in placements, but as today's situations we all already discussed that it is a recession period for all of us. So, including myself and many of my friends are still waiting for job placements, which is quite stressful for us.
Okay.
Now, as we see, we have to be best of the best to get the job. So, fortunately, sir has started this AI and ML technologies for free. I am grateful for this opportunity to get to learn these skills from him.
You are
Uh,
full professional. You learn all these languages. Great, great. Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
my skills, what I have learned in BTech, as I have passion for Android development. So I have learned Android development and make few projects out of it. And for coding purpose, I use Java. And I have also earned AWS Cloud Practitioner certification. And thankful to him, he provided me resources throughout the videos by which I can get certification more easily.
Frankly speaking, it's all your credit. You learned it by all yourself. And if I come like about this certification, cloud certification, generally I don't suggest this cloud practitioner certification to people because it does not give like a real world benefit to anyone. But like nowadays, what I am seeing this AWS certification or in fact any certification is now like become an eligibility criteria for
Yes,
people.
in Cognizant, it is a eligibility criteria. That's
Right,
why I
right,
have to do this
right,
in
right.
so short period of time because Cognizant just has come 1 week. They gave us 1 week to complete
Okay.
certification.
Okay.
So this is very easy and foundational certificate. So I get this.
Yeah, yeah, means this is in fact like the easiest certification I have come across in any of the domain, and because of its AWS, so it has some that reputation. But like if you come at like 3 4 years back, these AWS certification have very huge value. Even if you have that, that means you are a very part type of engineer and you are a very professional engineer. You will immediately get a job, and even before you are part of the interview process, they are you are almost 50% higher if you have that certification. but now their value has been like somewhat reduced, and now they become just like an eligibility criteria to sit in that interview. Then there you have to explain your own thing. Okay, now competition has becoming more and more tough, so like now real skills matter a lot. So the reason for selecting Sanskrit is she is currently in college, she didn't graduate till now, and she is searching for the job. So you three people are from totally different in the different situation. That's the reason I selected all three of you.
I think it's like saying a life cycle. I mean, she is in college and I'm out of college, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Frankly speaking, I have passed
yes,
through
yes,
all three of you situation, because like when I joined Infosys, I don't know anything. Frankly speaking, I don't know anything. I just have no. I have some done Python project, and somehow I showed up to convince that interviewer that I want this interview. At that point of time, even if somebody gave me like 15,000 job, I will be very happy. Frankly speaking, I will be super happy that I got this job. And that is the like in the first job you will go to any extent, but later I learned all the things, and now I'm quite happy with the skills I acquired and getting a good amount in the company. So I guess we can go ahead with our session. We have done like our introduction, so let me switch to our screen. In today's class, we are going to discuss a roadmap, complete roadmap, how to become an AI/ML or software engineer. So this roadmap, which I'm going to tell you, is intended for AI/ML engineer, but it is not restricted to all. Okay, basically we are going to discuss what skills we need to acquire to become an, like you can say, as Sanskrit is talking about recession. So you can say recession-proof software engineer, or that will help you to like secure your job more than others. Basically, that is what you need to do. So first thing you should know, and everybody I recommend, is to learn the proper ID. So do anybody know like what is ID? Can anybody explain in their own language? What
yeah.
is ID?
It's an integrated development environment where you run where you create the code and run it and also test it. I think.
Correct, correct. So ID basically a place where we write our software code. Okay. And also whatever terms I am and skills I am telling you guys here. So I suggest you guys go after this session and search by yourself and learn what are they and what you need to learn about them. So basically you get learn all this. Okay. So can like you guys tell me what IDs you have used, like what software you use to write your own code.
Yeah, actually, in my perception, this company has its own IDE,
Hmm.
so you can run any type of code in there: JavaScript, Java, Python, HTML,
Okay.
total front-end
Okay.
development and back-end development. They have
Oh,
their own IDE, so it
okay.
is totally different from Visual Studio Code and any other editors.
Okay. So I want to just make a distinguish here between a code editor and a IDE. So like code editor is just a place where we write our code, but IDE is much more than that. Like IDE is not just a code editor. It will have a code editor. It is the main component of that where we write our code. And but it also basically we are able to integrate all the development tools which are required for our software development. Just like we required a git, which is basically we where we store our code. We require a terminal, we required any other tools, whatever it is required, can we integrate into that IDE, then that is a proper IDE for our software development system. Okay. Like Sanskriti, do you use any IDE? Because you told about some Android development, so I guess you
Android
use.
Studio
Okay, you use Android Studio. So
Android
Android
Studio.
Studio is basically an official Google ID for the Android development. And any other you guys used? Milka, you have used any?
Visual Studio Code, as he told.
Currently, you are Milka. Your expertise is in the PHP language, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So like for PHP, which ID you guys use?
Visual Studio Code we will use.
Okay.
Uh, Only that. Yeah, we can
Okay.
use
Okay.
that.
Okay, so Visual Studio Code is basically, even like if somebody asks me which IDE I want to like practice on or I want to learn, so I will definitely suggest Visual Studio Code. That is the like best IDE ever seen, even in the real world. Like in every MNC I worked across, they are utilizing this Visual Studio Code most of the time. Even they are utilizing other IDEs as well, like Java people mostly utilize IntelliJ IDEA or Eclipse or NetBeans, and .NET people are utilizing Visual Studio. So Visual Studio and Visual Studio Code is totally different. Both of them are from Microsoft, but they are utilizing it. And also Apple people are utilizing for Swift language Xcode, which is then official IDE for the Apple development, just like we have Android Studio for Android apps development. So like these are some popular IDE. And also from AWS end, there is an IDE called Cloud9. Okay, it is where like basically if you worked on Visual Studio Code, then I can say like you can work with any ID. So my recommendation is go with that. And also like from AWS end, because we should know about cloud. We will discuss more about cloud later, but you just understand from AWS there is an ID known as Cloud9. Okay. And in terms of ID, you should know how to set up the ID, like proper installation, how to customize it, what is the like purpose of that particular interface, and all the shortcuts related to it. You should learn that. And also you should learn about the code editing features, such as like syntax highlighting, how you can auto complete your code, how you can navigate your code. And so all these, and you should know how to debug it, set back breakpoints, inspect all the variables, and step by step you can how you can go through a code and identify it and fix all these issues. Okay. And also you should be familiar with the plugin and the extension ecosystem. So I hope you guys now understand that ID is much more than code editor, right, Pawan? You got that part?
Yeah.
Like why it is known as integrated development environment as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, and why it is called
Yeah, yeah.
integrated development environment? Okay. Okay. Fine. Okay. You got it, Sanskriti and Milka, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay. Okay. Great. Great. Next skill which you need to get it is the Git part. So this is also very important. So can you guys explain like what is Git? Like if anybody of you know, like Sanskriti, you can tell.
Uh, as I have made projects, I use Git as a repository to
Okay.
save my projects
Okay.
and show them online. So I
Okay.
have used Git as a repository.
Okay. And anybody else? Like Pawan, you
Well,
want
me, I
to?
haven't used any. No, I haven't used any IDE.
Hmm.
I used only code editors and also the GitHub repositories
Okay. So
and the
so
Git flow.
what do you think? Like basically, what does Git actually do?
Yeah, it is also like an integrated development environment where we can run, share, and also we can build up the pipelines. I think.
Git is basically a version control system. Okay. And
Yeah,
most people got confused with the Git and GitHub. So Git is different and GitHub is different.
from GitHub. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So Git is basically like an core service, just like we have like Windows operating system, okay, and many like HP laptops are there, Dell laptops are there, Lenovo laptops are there. Similarly, this Git like basic course or open source software, it is like packed upon by many other companies. Like we have GitHub from Microsoft, we also have Azure repositories, which is also like a Git-based version control system, which is utilized by Microsoft. And in the Google also we have Google Code repository. So and also we have Bitbucket. There are multiple repositories from different company, but the core of their software is this Git only. Okay, so Git and GitHub is totally different. Just like Windows operating system can be in any of these laptop, HP laptops, Dell laptops, and Lenovo laptops, but the core bit between like core software in that is Windows operating system. Similarly, which I named GitHub, Azure repository, AWS code commit, all these have a Git as an integrated version control system. Basically these help us to store our code and make them a version wise, so we can even in case of any error we can revert it back. Okay, we will understand more, but the basic functionality of this is that. And we can also discuss everything here, and we can push our code, we can pull our code in case of any deletion, we can collaborate with other developers as well. And my recommendation in case of Git is definitely GitHub. So if anybody wants to learn all this Git, what is Git, so they, because GitHub is absolutely free, it's you can store our code and also publish that into your resume or CV. So it will help us other technical recruiters to you can showcase your projects and code. Okay, so you get this part?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So here, like basically in Git, you need to know all the Git commands, how to create a new Git repository, branch, how to do branch, what is that, merging, and resolve merge conflicts, and remote repositories also, and Git, what is Git ignore, history about how to collaborate with others, push pull tags. So you need to learn all these things related to Git. Then third thing is learn a programming language. Like, can anybody tell what is a programming language?
Programming language is like
No,
a
no.
high level language
Mhm.
which is used to code softwares.
Okay,
Yeah, like with programming language, like we can web development also, like app development, and we can write the code. We can develop according to the requirements
correct,
in the
correct.
project.
So basically, it is just a language through which we can develop our softwares and programming code. And basically, we are telling giving instruction to our computer that what we want actually to perform or what actually we want to see. Basically, communication with our computer or PC. Okay, what we actually want to showcase and develop our application or program. Okay. So here,
Yes.
my recommendation is go for first JavaScript, and because JavaScript is now booming into every part, even the front end, back end, everywhere it is going for, and along with the Python, because Python is the core of everything which is new is coming, even in data science, data analyst, like it is the core of so many jobs I have ever seen. Like Python, it is like it can be utilized everywhere. Even the all the new technologies are mostly Python based. Even in cloud also we are utilizing Python for our Bot03 and everything, even though you can utilize other language, but this AI ML are specifically more specifically dependent on this Python language. And then there is another language R, which is not that much utilized because Python is can do all the work related to like backend as well, even the simple software which is not related to AI ML. So Python and JavaScript are my recommendation if you are fresher, like you did not learn any programming language, you want to learn a programming language, go for JavaScript and Python. Okay, these are the like core programming languages I can suggest. And here you should learn about the syntax of that programming language, about variables, data types, arrays, how to error handle, can manage the memory of that application, APIs, frameworks, and garbage collection, concurrency, objects, classes, inheritance. So all these core functionality of a programming language you should know about it. Okay, so next thing
Yeah.
you need should learn about is the operating system. So, like, how many operating system have you actually been worked on?
I haven't used any operating systems yet, but I mean Linux or Unix operating systems, but I'm currently running it on Windows by using
Hmm.
Google Shell and
Yeah, yeah,
Google Terminal,
but that
Cloud
means you
Terminal.
have worked with the Windows, right? We are daily
Yeah,
utilizing
yeah, yeah,
Windows only, and
yeah,
also in mobile also we are utilizing Android. So means you
yeah,
know how these functionality works. Sanskriti, do you want
yeah.
to add anything?
Operating system is like a software which is a bridge between users and the computer hardware.
Correct, correct. That's a very like a nice way to put it down. Okay, so like, do you done any work related to operating system? Just like in real world, when we are working for an organization, we have to do like disk and memory management. We have to done the networking of that. We have to work with the CLI of that operating system, with the GUI of operating system, task management, batch processing, system resource allocation, kernel processes. So like, do
I
you work?
don't have done practical, but I have read manual theory because I have a subject operating system where I have batch processing,
Okay, okay.
paging.
Oh, right, right. Okay.
Not practically I have done these.
Okay. So like basically in real world, if like anybody asks me for suggestion which operating system we will learn for as in like as in job, because in real world we are utilizing Windows much more, but in real world mostly softwares are generally put out on the Linux. So I generally suggest people to learn Red Hat Linux. Basically, Linux is a kernel, and most people got confused that Linux is an operating system. Linux is not an operating system. It is an important part of any like other operating system. Just we have Red Hat Linux, we have Ubuntu Linux, we have Amazon Linux also. So there are multiple Linux systems available. Linux is just a kernel. So this question was also asked me in one of my interviews. Like, is Linux a operating system? So frankly, at that time, I have learned it that it is not an operating system. It is a kernel. This I can give you homework. Like, just read about it. Like, what is that kernel, and what is that operating system, and what is the relation between that? And do you guys know right now, or you don't know about the difference between them?
Yeah, I know. I think I know that. I know the difference between kernel and OS.
Okay. Yeah. Can you please
So,
tell us?
yeah, basically operating system exists on kernel version, and it is
Okay.
closely related to closely related to take action between CPU and operating system. So this
Right.
kernel is like a bridge between CPU and also with the operating system. So
Right.
any other further instructions that we give, it will operate on it.
Yeah. Correct. Correct. Correct.
Yeah. And it is also
So
called kernel OS.
correct. Correct. It is like a main core component of that operating system, basically of that software only. Okay. And I suggest you, if you want to learn operating system, learn Red Hat Linux and all Linux command related to it. Okay. So that is like a basic thing you need to learn. Again, next thing is you should learn about databases. So here there are like multiple databases we need to work, because we need somewhere to store our data. Even if you are working any system software, you should know about what kind of databases. Like, we have relational database, key value database, document database, in memory database, graph database, time series database, and there are multiple databases where basically we need somewhere you want to store our data. So that where database come into picture. So basically here in Git we are storing our code, and here in database we are storing our data. So like, did you guys any work? I don't think you guys work with any database. I maybe Milka have worked it. Like, you
But
guys work
I'm
with it?
familiar with
Yes,
I
Pawan.
am familiar with the relational database. I mean
Okay,
MySQL and also
right.
JavaScript and Python,
Okay, okay.
and
And
also with total front-end technology, React,
okay,
Node, and HTML, CSS.
okay, okay. So
I
means
forgot to
okay,
mention about that.
okay, okay, no problem. And yeah, Milka, you were saying something?
Yeah, I have worked in MySQL database.
Okay, okay. So see, Pawan, I guess you are on the right track. It is utilized in real world MNC, so you have learned some real world skills. What about you,
Yes.
Sanskriti?
Yes, I have also worked on MySQL and also Firebase database.
Okay,
Firebase
okay.
provide
Google,
database for Android.
correct,
Yeah.
correct, correct, correct. Google Firebase database. Is it now depreciated, or somewhat? I heard some news regarding it. Like, there is some depreciation from Firebase database. Now also you can utilize Firebase database free of cost, or like
Yes,
how? What is this?
yes.
Okay, okay,
At
okay,
some
okay.
extent we can use.
Okay, 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 got it. And next skill, which is very important, and I have to say it, like currently, if anybody is looking for like any one skill they want to learn, then they have to go for this cloud. This is the most important skill I can say currently right now. Even if you want to become Java engineer, or you want to become a Python engineer, you want to become Kubernetes, Terraform, or whatever type of engineer you want to become, you should have this skill. This is like a compulsory thing to know. Without it, you won't be able to survive. I can guarantee you. I already tell people about this, and that this is really, really necessary. Learning cloud. I can tell you a funny story about this. Like, when this cloud comes up, because cloud is also like a relatively new term. Basically, before I guess 2015 or 16, no company is using cloud at that much extent. And uh, around that, like in 2018, when I joined Infosys, so we were sitting on bench. So do you know the concept of bench, Sanskriti and Pawan? Do you know what is bench?
Not exactly, but the persons who have sit on bench not given a running project. I
Correct, correct.
think.
Yes, yes, it
Yeah.
is correct. Means like anybody who is hired for in the company, but they are not currently assigned a project and they are not working. But these are the people who are more vulnerable to like get laid off. So whatever news you are seeing, most of the people are on the either on the bench or either doing some. very old-fashioned work. Okay. So at that point of time, like whenever our training got completed in our Infosys, because that is our first company, so they trained us for like a very long period. They trained us around 5 to 6 months. We have got trained in a very beautiful campus in Mysuru. So Infosys is a very grand, and like I can say that that was a like a campus, seems like a heaven. You can read about it on internet and about that campus. Did you guys heard about like Infosys Mysuru campus?
Yes,
No, no,
yes,
no.
I did.
Yeah, it is really, really beautiful. I must say, like, you should visit it once. It
It's
is
like gym for the freshers.
correct, correct. And they give so good training there. And like, I don't think I have other, like my friends in other companies as well. No training or anything is comparable to that. Even like even Google offices are not that much better compared to that Infosys campus. That is really a heaven out there. Even I went to Switzerland, which is known as the best place on earth. But like campus like that is no way come. Switzerland is really beautiful place, by the way. It is really good place to visit. But that campus has a different feel, and as it is my first organization, so that has also a special attachment. But that has everything in it. It has bank in it. It has clothing shops in it. Or we are learning 24 by 7. We are living there, that into a five-star hotel like facilities into there. We have a free movie theater to there. We have swimming pool, gym, everything is there. Like, it is really a good campus to there. So yeah, means I was telling, like, at that point of time when we got our training, and we were sitting on men, so I got a project immediately after some time, because I have done some upscaling, and I got a project into cloud. So one of my friend also sitting there. So I suggested my manager that he is also very good, so you can take him as well. So he agreed on that. Friend is very good friend of mine at that point of time, and but he got angry at that point of time, because why I suggested him cloud. He want to become a Java engineer at that point of time, and then means he has become really really angry at me, and he didn't talk me like till days, like why you and now he is telling that thank god, like we got into this cloud, otherwise it will be very difficult for me. So you must understand and analyze all the scenarios which is currently going on, and take action accordingly. Even if you got hired, if you are even into an organization, you need to keep update yourself. That's why I want to deliberately come into this IT sector, because here you need to keep updating. Otherwise, there are many government jobs where you need to do a repetitive work, same work till you retire. So here you need to be updated every time. So this cloud is really, really important. Now it is used everywhere. Whatever job you are, even like Milka is working on PHP. I am working on some different language, Python. Earlier I used first I got into cloud, then I work as a DevOps engineer, then I become an AI engineer. But all throughout my journey, one thing is constant, is that is cloud. So that cloud is recommended to you guys. And here in cloud, like suggest generally people to go with the AWS cloud service provider, because there are more real world projects into AWS. Everybody, every big MNC which I am work with, and every different clients I work with, everybody was utilizing AWS. Even I have worked with the Azure as well. So I will give you familiarity with Azure as well, like how you can learn all AWS and Azure simultaneously. Okay, in this like classes. And also, like when you are working with the cloud, you should know about what is infrastructure as a service, platform service, software as a service, what is this hybrid cloud, what is this, what are the data services available into the cloud, different networking services, how to do cloud migration, what is serverless computing, what is containers, what is microservices, and all these cost management into the cloud. So you should know all about this. This cloud service is really, really important. Like, have you guys worked with any of the cloud platforms before?
No, actually, I'm in a self-paced learning in a AWS skill builder.
Okay, okay. You are learning on that.
So, yeah,
Yes. And what about you, Sanskriti?
I have learned AWS cloud practitioner, not practically created
Okay.
instances because
Yeah.
not needed for that certification. For
Correct.
that,
Correct.
I have go for the theoretical aspect.
Yeah. Yeah. Even Pawan, if you want to go for that, like AWS Cloud Practitioner, because it is comparatively easier certification, and I guess if I'm correct, Sanskriti, please correct me. Like only definition level knowledge is required into that certification.
Yes, only definition level. They give you scenarios that
Okay,
in this scenario, which service you have to use MCQ
right.
based exam.
Correct, correct. So, Pawan, you can go ahead with that. Like
Yeah,
Milka,
yeah.
Milka, you worked, I guess, with Azure only, right?
Yeah, as a part of hackathon, I only worked in Azure, not in AWS. Actually, previous project was like that. They have utilized.
Yes, yes. Okay.
Mm.
Then apart from cloud, next thing you should know is CI/CD. So, like, have you heard this term CI/CD? Anybody? Like,
Yeah, yeah. I know the definition and I know how it works.
mm-hmm. Yeah. Can you tell just a brief?
Yeah, CI/CD means it's a continuous integration and continuous development, where it is
Mm-hmm.
a vice versa process.
Mm-hmm.
So it basically develop code in a continuous integration stage, and also we try to test it. And in continuous development stage, it will the process will be automatically starts about fixing bugs or also updating the software or anything, any services in continuous
Okay.
development. So it is
Okay.
a ongoing process where you don't need a admin, so it's
Mm.
basically like repeating itself the process.
Okay. And do you want to add anything, Sanskriti?
No,
Yes.
sir, it's correct. I have this continuous integration and continuous development process. We use code pipeline, cloud pipeline in
Okay.
AWS.
Yeah, in AWS we have code AWS code pipeline, which is like where all our processes we just integrate all of them, like basically automate our process of all our DevOps journey. Milka, do you want to like add anything?
So in this, in the previous project, I have used this CI/CD Jenkins pipelines. I have used for the
Okay,
deployment.
okay. Can you name some tools like which CI/CD tools you have used? Like you used Jenkins or GitLab or Circle CI, Travis CI, any tool which you have specifically used?
Jenkins, I have used
Okay, like
Jenkins. Mm.
Pawan and Sanskriti, do you guys used any other tool? Like CI/CD tool, what tools you have used?
No, I haven't used anything, but I know
Mm,
about them.
So there are like multiple tools, like as I mentioned, Jenkins is the like most utilized one. So because it is like not dependent on any particular cloud service provider, it is like out of it, and people are utilizing it on-premise as well. On-premise means basically when we they have physical data centers, and also on the cloud, so it can be utilized everywhere else. It is very simple UI, and there is GitLab CI/CD as well, Circle CI/CD, Travis CI, and you might have heard about GitHub Actions as well. So in CI/CD, basically, you should know about how to do automation, how you can integrate version control system like Git, how you can build that automation process, how to do code compilation, how to do code quality checks, how to do unit testing and different all testing, integrated testing, E2E testing, deployment automation, and how to do monitoring, how to do release management, how to do versioning, and how to collaborate and basically do all these feedback loops and all process. So this is required. Basically, all these seven which I mentioned here, this is now become a very basic thing. These all things you should know. I'm not saying like you should know each of everything in detail. There are some cloud engineers only, there are some database engineers only, there are some Python engineers, there are some Java engineers. They are all are surviving, but if you ask them, they would definitely know one ID. They would definitely know about Git. They would definitely know about one database. They either work through it. They either work with the cloud service provider and a CI/CD platform. So these are the very basic thing which everybody is knowing, even whatever title or profile they are working on. Even if you want to go with the cloud architect, you want to go with the Java developer, you want to go with the PHP developer, They all either work with a different ID, different gate. So you should know all these skills. And the next thing which I suggest to learn is the microservices and containers. So this become a new norm. Can you explain what are the microservices and what is this container? If like you guys work with, so I can get more familiarity with you guys, like what extent knowledge you have.
No, I don't know about microservices.
Okay, okay. And Sanskriti, do you have?
No, sir, I didn't know about
Okay.
it.
And Milka, do you have? Like you want to add anything?
Uh, in previous of my project, I have worked in Docker, like just a
Okay.
basic,
Mm-hmm.
not that much, only that.
Okay. Okay. So basically, I can just give you one simple. Let me open LinkedIn again. So you see earlier what happened when we are developing application, we used to develop application as an whole package. Okay, you are able to see the LinkedIn page, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
But nowadays, what we are doing, we have broken down our application into multiple services. These are known as microservices. So there is a team who is developing just this part, the search of this LinkedIn. Then there is a team who is developing this post part. And then there is a service who is just designing this profile section. There is a team will be developing this recent section. There will be another team who is working on the comment section. Okay, so now we have divided our application into multiple parts. And if you even sometimes you see in whenever we load any application or website, like some part of it has been already been loaded and other part is still loading, because that microservice has been already been loaded and another microservice has been loaded. But earlier what happened, if you like restart reload an website, entire website will load. So you understand this concept of like why like what is this microservice? Just I'm giving you an overview brief. Like
Yes, yes.
that previous applications are known as monolithic application. Mono means single. Okay, and now we are designing microservices application. Even in Java also we are designing Spring Boot microservices. So basically we, according to the business functionality of that service, disintegrate our application into multiple parts. Okay, I hope you got clarity with microservice. Just giving you a
Yes,
brief idea now, because we are discussing only about roadmap. Then we can discuss about that in detail. You got idea?
yes, sir.
Okay. And similarly, I can also give you brief about containers. Like what happened when you are working with microservices. So there are many microservices which comes into picture. But the things what happen, suppose I am working on Windows, okay, and the application which I am testing, somebody is testing on, they are running on some MacBook. They are running it on MacBook. But you see, there are multiple processes which run on our system, like Windows system. There is .NET framework running all the time. There are some libraries coming from our operating system itself, right? Which is help us to support it, but it will not be there into that Mac computer, right? So that's why even I developed it correctly, it is running fine in my Windows, it is not running on other system. So that causes another problem with that. So then container concept comes into picture. It will basically integrate all these microservices with the necessary libraries. So these container can be run on any platform. Whether you run on Linux, it will be run across any platform same, whether you are running on the like mobile or any other operating system, or in any condition it will run same. Okay, so that is the basic concept of containers. We will learn more, but I hope you got an idea like what is the like basic functionality of containers and microservices.
Yes, sir.
Pawan, you
Yes.
also like got a like slight idea about it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay. Basically here the tools like Docker comes into picture, which Milka is talking about. So Docker, what is basically do, it basically help us to make those container and do things with the container related to it. That's why Docker come into picture. We will talk about that. Okay, so next thing is IAC. So anybody know about what is IAC?
Don't know.
uh,
No, no, sir.
Milka, do you know about it?
No, I don't know.
Okay, okay. So it is infrastructure as a code. So
Yeah,
basically,
yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, okay.
yeah. So do you want to like add any information which you like know it's not like
No problem. You continue.
So infrastructure contain all these servers, all these networking cables, and all everything which is required to run and basically IT company or any software and application. All these different networking connections we required. We required all the data storage. So all these is known as IT infrastructure or IT resources. IAC tools like Terraform, CloudFormation, these comes into picture. Basically, here we write all our requirements in the coding format into basically a language, and using that code, it will create an infrastructure for us. Did you got a slight idea what is the infrastructure code?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. You are just saying yes, sir, or you are like actually just getting an idea like what are all these terms mean?
No, I
Mm,
actually know the meaning, but I'm getting a clear cut idea after you saying.
Okay. And what about you, Sanskriti?
yes, sir. I get clear idea. Firstly, I was confused between IaaS, infrastructure as a service.
Correct. That is IaaS. That comes as a part of cloud when
Yes,
we discuss IaaS and the platform as a service and software as a
SaaS.
service.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
right.
Software as service.
Correct. And Milka, do
Actually, I
you?
was also confused like that
Okay,
because
okay.
I pronounce it as like IAAC.
Right. That is IaaS.
Infrastructure.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Milka, like, do you also understand like what is this IaaS?
Yes.
So like the major IAC tool is Terraform because it is cloud agnostic, means it can be utilized with AWS as well, it can be utilized with Azure, it can be utilized with Google, it can be utilized on premises as well. So if you want to learn any IAC tool, that is infrastructure as a code tool, then you have to learn. I should suggest you go with Terraform. However, there are other tools as well, Ansible, Puppet, and other thing. But go with Terraform because it is very similar and you can utilize with any of the cloud service provider. So it will definitely going to help you. And there are some specific jobs like Terraform developer or Terraform script developer. There are like some specific jobs also available according to that. So that can also benefit you. So next skill, this container orchestration platform. So do you guys are familiar with the container orchestration platform?
No, sir.
Okay.
no,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, so container orchestration basically orchestration platform means basically a platform to manage the containers. Just like we discussed about container, it basically what does container do? It package our microservices application with all the necessary libraries and all the necessary things it required to run basically. Okay, so nowadays there are many microservices which is in a single application. An orchestration platform help us to manage all those. Similarly, you might have heard of a very famous tool name that is known as Kubernetes. Do you guys heard that name, Kubernetes?
Yes,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So that is a container orchestration platform. Basically, it is helping us to manage the containers. Okay. So that is the primary functionality of Kubernetes. So, and I must say, if you are a DevOps engineer or and if you want to if after AI ML anybody asks me what is the second skill, topmost skill, that is Kubernetes. I have put it like Kubernetes at the like second stage. There are other container orchestration platform as well, just like Docker Swarm, Apache Mesos, even Amazon ECS we have, and also there are other Kubernetes service as well in AWS itself. That is I
yes,
guess EKS, correct. That is Elastic Kubernetes Service from AWS. And also in Azure, we have AKS, that is Azure Kubernetes Service. In Google, we have GKE, that is Google Kubernetes Engine. When I was describing you the cloud, I was telling you that we can learn AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud simultaneously because they all are working on the same thing. They are exactly same. Just the terminologies are different. So whatever the in AWS EKS is doing, similarly in Azure, same thing will be done by AKS, that is Azure Kubernetes Service. And same thing will be done in Google by Google Kubernetes Engine. Okay. Just the terminologies you need to learn. Once you learn AWS, you automatically learn Azure and Google Cloud. So that's why like learning cloud and you automatically become a multi-cloud engineer. But people generally don't consider because they don't even try to understand what is there in Azure, what is there in Google Cloud. they are performing exact same functionality. Okay, they all are providing servers, they all are providing storage, they all are providing networking services. Just the names are different,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
like all the three clouds. Okay. So here, with like a scale of this container orchestration platform, this will help us to make your application highly available. Basically, it also allow us to make a fully automated process and manage a very bulk real world production environment application basically. So this is a must skill again. I must say container orchestration platform. Next is data processing. Basically, all the data scientist jobs or data analyst or any data type of job is coming from this skill, where we do data collection, data pre-processing, and this skill is very important. Like I must say, if you look at the machine learning like life cycle, so that is coming as a very important part and the very first part of the life cycle, that you should do the data processing, where we do feature engineering, where we do prompt engineering, we do data ingestion, ETL, and working with data pipelines, real-time processing of this data. Basically, this is the core of the every application or machine learning process which we are going to work with. We are going to learn more about it because this is a, you can say, this is a part, slightly a part of AI ML as well. Okay. Next thing is, of course, now in nowadays, if you want to become software engineer, and what we are working on is AI ML. So here, like you need to like learn some concept. So that is our first artificial intelligence, machine learning. Then there is a deep learning. You should know about neural networks. You should know about different kinds of learning, supervised, unsupervised, natural language processing, training the model, tuning the model, evaluating that, inference, prediction, monitoring, different frameworks we are going to work with. So all these things we are going to learn it. So you don't need to worry about it. We will learn about prompt engineering, feature engineering, and other. So there are multiple jobs into it also. ML ops engineer, ML engineer, AI engineer. So there are multiple different kind of jobs into each of these skills. So even these skills, all these skills which I'm telling you, you can treat it as a single thing as well. Like you can become a CI/CD engineer as well. But if you know all of this, then that will be a good. And you, I must say, you can learn all these things. It is not like a very hard thing if you learn them smartly, basically. Next skill is like product and project management, so which is comes at the higher end. But if you just understand the process, like how this management take place, how they utilize this business goal identification, how they problem make the problem from the business, and how it is actually helping into the business, then it will be very good. You know about what is KPI, what is, how you are using this problem solving approach, how you are utilizing different metrics, how do you do risk analysis, how do you do quality assessment, business impact assessment, how you define that problem scope. So that will also be a good to have skill. And last thing, which is very important, is interview. If you don't know how to give interview, then all these skill will be wasteful. And I know many people who are very good in all these skills, but they don't know how to give a like a interview and how to sit into interview. All these basically all these skills I am telling you. So interview is basically the most important. So I can give you a key steps how you can like give an interview. And first thing is, you need to be very, some people, I what the most misconception I see, that people don't at all apply the job for at all. They are keep learning skills. I see this is a big problem. Everybody is learning, they are learning Java, they are learning Python, they are learning AI ML, they are learning cloud, but they are not, they don't feel confident, and that's why they are not applying for job. Like anybody of you is in that condition? Like you are not applying for job, but you are learning everything.
No, sir.
Or
I've been applying since from the college itself.
okay, but you might have seen some people that they are in this case, that they are learning. They say like we will apply when we completed this course, when we completed this certification. There are multiple people I have seen like who
Yes,
work
sir.
like
Yes, sir.
this.
I've
So
seen
he,
people.
yeah. So first thing here you need to make, first step is to make a resume. Okay. So that is the first step. Then I suggest you apply for the all companies. I applied for every single company when I was I was out of my college and I was applying off campus. I applied to every single company. I go to every company's career portal. I go to Naukri job portal. I go to LinkedIn. I go to Monster. I go to every their portal available is there. There is Shine something. I at that point of time I applied for everything. Even now also when I try to move on. I applied for every single portal and every single company. I don't want to go it, but it gives me an experience as how to give that interview. Okay. It gives me like what companies are asking nowadays. It gives me an idea about it. Even though I take technical interviews for my company as well, but still I want to understand like what other peoples are asking. And whenever you got selected, I suggest you like just like me, you go for you ask your manager that I want to take interviews for my juniors. So that will always keep you relevant. So you should be visible on all platforms: LinkedIn, Naukri, Monster, Glassdoor, LeetCode, HackerRank, whatever is there. Just visible on all the platforms. Okay. And give all the interviews. Whatever calls you are getting from startup, they are giving you less salary. Just go for it. Don't join them. It is not, they are not going to blacklist. Even they will say they will blacklist you, blah blah blah. There are multiple companies for you to apply. You can go for it. Frankly speaking, I work with many HRs, so there is generally no thing like blacklist, and they just tell you just like that only. But even if they blacklist, there are multiple companies still out there. So always give all the interviews and make a good relationship with all the HRs which you are working with. Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And don't hesitate to like work with I already have your resume. So like maybe we can review it someday at any time. And don't like stuck into that my template is not good. So the most important thing in resume is the keywords. You should include all the necessary keyword which you can see in the job description. You can see in the like you can search on chat gpt. Nowadays chat gpt can answer anything. What are the necessary keywords are required. And even if you go to like LinkedIn as well, here if you go to this job section and suppose I want to go for this cloud infrastructure automation developer. So here you can see there is a skill section. So 7 out of 8 is skill match. So you can see Ansible, Docker product. So these are requires these skills they are looking for. Okay, so you can see what skills you need to add into your resume. So these should always be there if you are applying for this job. Okay, you need to understand like this process that HR is the most like they should be able to see your resume. If you, even you are skillful, they are not able to see your resume, then there is no benefit of getting that skill. You are just going to become knowledgeable, but not getting employed actually. Okay, and I should suggest learn all these skills. Means it is not like I'm saying you learn it all now, but as a long term I suggest you like when you have experience of 5 6 years you should learn a somewhat extent of all these skills. This is what I feel necessary into it. And never even after like you joined any company, don't just settle down. Keep continue learning, because like even Google fire people, right? You know about this. Even you got hired into Google, Google will fire you, Amazon will fire you, anybody, any company can fire you. So don't settle down there. Okay. Very
Actually, what you told is very right. Like once we once we got job in our first company,
Mhm.
mostly we'll try to stay there. Like it will be our comfort zone.
Right, right.
So mostly we will not learn new skills. Mostly we will settle there. So we should avoid that. Otherwise,
Yeah,
like when recessions came, it will affect our career.
correct, correct. They can keep you on bench since like till forever, basically. But they will not keep you, and any day can come up. And sometimes what happen, you will not go at bench all. You will directly get laid off. Currently, I have my friend who is a very I must say he is a very good Java developer, but still he got laid off, and still till now also he is he's not having any job. He is still searching for it, and he is one of the best Java developers I know personally. So, and also another thing which you need to like remember in your mind, that recruiters are also in need of you. As per as you also need that job, there are some recruiters who are they want some people. Even maybe you have heard in your college time that there are some people who don't know anything, still they got hired, because
Yes,
sometimes
sir.
they,
Yes, sir.
they
Definitely.
they are recruiters, sometimes they want job. Even when I'm hiring out, sometimes there are, I just need a person who have fingers. That's what I want. If I can type, I just I add them, even if they don't, because there are like business restriction also. They, I have to provide an outcome to client, so I have to fulfill that. That is the main requirement. I have to fulfill that client requirement. At that point of time, if even you, that's why telling all people that please keep trying. If you don't try, then your luck will not come into your favor. Okay, then there will be some time, you will get selected, even if you don't know anything, but you have to keep trying. And adding skills will definitely going to help you in your favor. And so don't underestimate yourself. So to turn your future, you require just a one push and you will get it. So like that, this is a complete roadmap. And the red things which I mentioned here, these are the important things which are important thing to learn to become an AI ML engineer. And when you learn all these things fully, you can say you have become a proper software engineer or a fully recession proof engineer, according to like my personal experience. So that is my recommendation. If you guys have any queries, please let me know right now, or anybody is watching online, please let me know in the comments. Like, do you guys have any doubts,
No,
or
sir.
like,
No, sir.
okay.
Okay,
Okay,
sir.
thank you so much. It is really nice to interact with you guys. You are really nice, interactive people. You interact fully. I hope this session is basically I organized for this interactiveness only, so you guys can open with me and I can know more about you. So I really enjoyed you guys. You are both really cool people. So see you guys in the next class. Okay.
Same day,
Okay,
sir. Thank you.
Thank
okay,
you.
sir.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.
Bye, sir. Bye, Sanskrit.
Bye.